We have a long history using ground ladders in our department. We use them for functions they were designed for, and some situations which they weren't. Our growing city demands we be proficient in deploying ground ladders when and where they are needed. The outcomes and objectives from the Training Bureau standpoint are to demonstrate the skills being taught to our new hires so that operations personnel can properly assess and prepare probationary firefighters for their 5 and 11-month tests. In addition, we want to provide our department members examples of best practices when it comes to our core competencies. The objectives and outcomes for operations personnel are for all personnel to deploy the standard complement of ground ladders found on our units with a minimum of the 10-foot attic ladder, the 14-foot roof ladder, and a 24-foot extension ladder. Captains shall verify competency of their assigned crews. Captains shall also document this training in Fire RMS for January company level training using the code CT600. As a reminder, this video supports the monthly performance objective. All crews are expected to actively participate in training and complete the hands-on portion of the drill as assigned. Contact Training and Special Ops if you have any questions. Please note that the following video clips are not designed to be Monday morning quarterbacking, but rather lessons learned.
Firefight. Crews were battling a warehouse fire in Pompano Beach this morning. Cell phone video capturing, look at that terrifying moment when one of the firefighters fell 20 feet from that ladder.
Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue SOP 803 deals with fire service ground ladders and aerial apparatus. As a reminder, in the months of June and December, all ground ladders are to be inspected and lubricated those months. If at all possible, always work in teams when using ladders. In this example, Station 29 crews on A shift show how to do a proper beam raise for a 24-foot extension ladder.
And this is just beautiful.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Traditionally, we're taught to put the ladder from the rear of the ladder, behind, leaning back. Another method for putting the ladder is in front, 1 foot on the rung, 2 hands on the beam, looking forward. You see everything, you see the entire scene, you see who's coming off or getting onto your ladder, and you're out of the way from falling debris or from falling objects.
Right out. Now take it out and do the standard one.
Standard way?
Yeah,
When
standard
stopping or working from a ground ladder, use a leg lock to secure yourself. The standard method is shown here. Modified versions include putting your leg through the rungs without wrapping your foot around the beam. Another version includes pushing up with your foot and wedging your knee into the rung above to provide a temporary lock when quick work is needed. When ascending or descending a ground ladder, place tools on the rungs so you can climb the ladder as it was designed. When using tools from the ladder, place one arm through the rungs and one outside the rungs, and then use the tool.
Okay.
If something jars you or the ladder, you can pull yourself in using the tool.
Beautiful.
A closed halyard is a permanently attached halyard running from the bottom rung of the fly section, running through the pulley, going down to the bottom rung of the bed section. One of the advantages of the closed halyard is the fact that you don't have to untie the ladder before hoisting the fly section.
There you go.
If you only raise the ladder by 1 or 2 rungs and cannot tie it off, ensure that the halyard is not in the way while ascending or descending. Our ladders are marked for a variety of reasons. In this example, the red marks show the firefighter where the ladder lines up on the lowering arm. The center of the ladder has been marked as well to assist the operator in quickly finding the balance point. The way in which the 14-foot and the 24-foot extension ladder are stored on our engines may differ. In this example, the 24-foot extension ladder has been placed on the outside for quick deployment, eliminating the need to remove the 14-foot roof ladder first.
We're rolling.
The following clips show several examples of how to deploy the 24-foot extension ladder using either a low shoulder carry or a high shoulder carry.
Roof ladder. Got it on the shoulder. Beautiful. Stop.
See where my middle is?
The high shoulder carry is the second method we show the new hires. They have the option of performing either of the two methods during their 5 and or 11-month test. If you're not experienced with the high shoulder carry, we recommend you start off using a 14-foot roof ladder to practice before graduating to the 24-foot extension ladder. This method of deployment is arguably more versatile than the traditional low shoulder carry. In any case, deploy the ladder the safest and most efficient way you're comfortable with. The ladder can also be flipped onto the firefighter's shoulder. Again, before grabbing a 24-foot extension ladder and experimenting with this for the first time, we suggest starting with the 14-foot roof ladder and working with someone who is comfortable with this method.
Hell yeah, man. Nice, Mike. Yeah, well, buddy. Good job, buddy.
Are you ready?
The first method of deployment is what we have coined the Modified Fire Academy method. It is essentially what is taught at most fire academies without bedding the ladder prior to raising it.
Arms.
Note the body mechanics. As this firefighter places the foot of the ladder where the building meets the ground, he then allows the ladder to rest briefly on his thigh as he moves his hands to the beams. The ladder is then pushed in one smooth motion, keeping the core of the body as centered as possible. The second method of deployment is a ladder throw from a high shoulder carry. When placing the ladder for extension, the fly can be towards the structure or away from the structure, as shown here. In any case, position the ladder fly out for fireground operations when complete. Here are two examples of throwing a 24-foot extension ladder from a high shoulder carry. One firefighter has chosen to have the fly out when raising the ladder, the other the fly in. Both are acceptable practices. Once again, position the fly out for fireground operations when complete. A slightly exaggerated angle for climbing and descending is recommended, which may differ from the standard 75-degree climbing angle taught in minimum standards. The high shoulder carry is also ideal for quick relocation of ground ladders. Demonstrated here is an acceptable example of a new hire deploying a 24-foot extension ladder for testing purposes on a 5 or 11-month test. The low shoulder carry is also an acceptable method. The Training Bureau reserves the right to test candidates using scenario-based tasks. For example, this firefighter is told to fully extend the 24-foot extension ladder to the second-story roof of this structure. Additional areas assessed are proper climbing angle, locked dogs, the ladder maintaining contact to the structure to be climbed as well as the ground, proper footing of the ladder, and a properly tied halyard. Some final considerations. In regards to tip placement, while situation will always dictate action, generally speaking, the tip of a ground ladder should be at the sill of most windows. This will facilitate most functions on scene, such as ingress, egress, and patient removal. When deploying a ladder for roof access, place the ladder at least 3 rungs above the roof. The more rungs above the roof line, the easier it will be to identify the ladder for a quick descent, as well as make it easier for the firefighter to step back onto the ladder. In summary, the January 2018 monthly fire PO is ground ladders. This video supports the hands-on portion of this monthly training. This video demonstrated several ways to carry and deploy the 24-foot extension ladder for testing purposes and for the purposes of demonstrating best practices for Fort Lauderdale fire rescue personnel. Ground ladders will be inspected and lubricated in the months of June and December per SOP 803.